Hey everyone, I seem to blow up the radical left last night. I filed a resolution that would ban biological men from women's private spaces on the Hill. I'm just getting started, and I've already nowhere near stopping, and the death threats that I'm receiving now aren't going to stop me either. So I've said it before and I'll say it again. Come at me, bro, or bros in this case. I'm not going to take your threats for an answer, and I'm going to fight like hell for women and girls to keep men out of women's private spaces, to include bathrooms, restrooms, locker rooms, changing rooms, you name it. You are not welcome.
As Ian Miles pointed out, men are women now, and you're a bigot for saying otherwise. That's literally the world that we live in. This self-proclaimed feminist herself said that she's not even going for. We even got the feminists saying, like, look, we ain't doing it. We ain't. Yeah, I don't think it makes her a feminist, though. It makes you a woman standing up for women, in my opinion. But yeah, in another video, she claimed that. Anyhow, Nancy Mace, she's under fire today. Yeah, for obvious reasons. She wants to go ahead and make sure that men cannot enter into women's spaces, vice versa. She's somebody who's been a victim of inappropriate and being touched inappropriately, and she's not going to stand for it. Now, Speaker Mike Johnson just said one of the most savage things ever. I'm gonna let him say this before we get back to Nancy Mace.
Hello, everybody. I just want to make a statement for all of you here and be very clear. I was asked a question this morning at the leadership gaggle, and I rejected the premise because the answer is so obvious. For anybody who doesn't know my well-established record on this issue, let me be unequivocally clear. A man is a man, and a woman is a woman, and a man cannot become a woman. That said, I also believe, that's what Scripture teaches, what I just said, but I also believe that we treat everybody with dignity, and so we can do and believe all those things at the same time, and I wanted to make that clear for everybody because there's lots of questions, but that's where I stand. I've stood there my whole life, and those are facts.
Johnson seems to be really turning a page here. Let's hope he keeps it up when it's time to pass some bills. Somebody says, look like he is growing a set. Did he grow up there? No, y'all let me know. You know what I mean? He was looking real bold. Operation MAGA Mike is working, is what they saying in the comments. Give him props, send him love, let him know we approve. Somebody said that is too straight. Love for Mike Johnson, and one day he's doing well now. Wow, he's right. But why spend a dime, one more dime, that is, of political capital on this? They're definitely bigger fish to fry, for sure. Now, back to Nancy Mace. A Vogue reporter asked Nancy Mace why she wants to exclude men from female bathrooms in Congress. This is her response.
So if that being a feminist makes me an extremist, I'm totally here for it.
Is this effort in response to Congresswoman Mcbride's coming to Congress?
Yes, and absolutely, and then some. I'm not going to stand for a man, if someone with a penis is in the women's locker room, that's not okay. And I'm a victim of abuse myself. I'm a rape survivor. I have PTSD from the abuse I've suffered at the hands of a man. And I know how vulnerable women and girls are in private spaces. So I'm absolutely 100% going to stand in the way of any man who wants to be in a women's restroom, in our locker rooms, in our changing rooms. I will be there fighting you every step of the way. So if that being a feminist makes me an extremist, I'm totally here for it.
Yeah, I let it loop right there at the end again because it was just like perfect. You know what I'm saying? Nancy Mace actually responded to the post of this clip from End Wokeness, reposting this. And she said, yep, not on my watch. And Wall Street Apes responded by saying, we are at the point in American history where we have to defend not wanting a grown man to use a woman's restroom used by little kids in the highest level of government buildings. Thank you, Democrats. This is definitely the stage that is being set. And I think that people are tired. Right? Should have said, I know. We are tired of this, man. We live in a world where delusion is becoming the forefront of our politics. When is it okay to have a man next to a woman in a restroom knowing all of the things that go on and all the corrupt things that already happen in the world? Why would you even want to leave room for that era of margin again? Now, granted, you shouldn't have people in your space that have those sort of mindsets to want to do anything inappropriate or want to harm somebody. Like, yeah, we get all that, but still, you don't want to give nobody that opportunity. That's just irresponsible. You know what I mean? And it says a lot about you. It really does. I had another clip. I'm trying to get ready to find it. I'm trying to find it before. Let me so I can transition into it. Hold on. It was a clip where, I'm sorry about that. It was a clip where a reporter asked her about, he had walked up on her and asked her about how she, her decision on trying to ban men from, women's spaces. And her response actually had this man like, huh?
Here she goes. Here's Congresswoman Mace. Congresswoman Mace, can I ask you a question as you walk here? So the question is, with your piece of legislation about banning women from using...
100% yes.
My question to you is...
And it doesn't go far enough. I'll be filing more bills.
You have said that it was created in response to Congresswoman-elect Mcbride.
100%.
But should legislation be created targeted at one specific person?
It doesn't mention anyone in the legislation, but
you've said it was aimed at...
By the way, that one particular person that they're saying is targeted at is Sarah Mcbride.
No, I have said it's a result of this. I'm not going to allow biological men into women's private spaces. I will stand in the brink and stand in the way of anyone on the radical left who thinks that it's okay for a penis to be in a women's locker room or a bathroom or a changing room. Hell no. I am not going to stand for it. And the speaker said it would be in the House rules package. If it's not, I'll be ready with a motion, a privileged motion to force a vote on this. This is not okay. I'm a survivor of rape. I'm a survivor of sexual abuse. And I'm not going to allow any man in any female private spaces.
Now, Speaker,
end of story. And by the way, I'm getting death threats from men pretending to be women. Why is it that these crazy people, the insanity, the radical left, are willing to kill women over a man's right to be in a women's restroom?
Speaker Johnson has said he wants...
Why? What happened to women's rights, right?
To treat every new member with the words dignity and respect. Forcing this congressperson to go into a male restroom, is that dignity and respect?
Forcing women to share private spaces with men is not dignity and not respect. And I'm absolutely going to stand in the way of anyone who thinks it's okay for a man to be in our locker room, in our changing rooms, in our dressing rooms, in women's bathrooms. And in fact, if you agree with that, you're crazy, because that's not okay. It's not okay.
Congresswoman,
Thank you, Congressman. We're going to peel away from this conversation, Kira. So a little bit of the context of what we were just talking about, and I'm going to have my cameraman step out of the active driveway here, was that Nancy Mace put forward this piece of legislation. It was aimed, she said, although the name is not in the legislation, at a new member of Congress, Sarah Mcbride of Delaware, who is a transgender woman. She has said that the legislation would prevent women from using male restrooms and vice versa in the United States Capitol. Speaker Johnson has said, he made a statement earlier today where he said he believes, a quote, man is a man and woman is a woman, but he also called for, as you heard me ask the congressman about, dignity and respect for new members of Congress, and that would include this new member of Congress, Sarah Mcbride from Delaware, who is a transgender woman. All of that to say, this is now an issue that Congress is forced to grapple with here, and one that they've never been forced to grapple with before, because Sarah Mcbride is the first trans person elected to the United States House of Representatives. And it's very much unclear at this hour what Mike Johnson plans to do, although Nancy Mace is under the impression that her resolution or something of the like will now go into the new House of Representatives rules package, which would theoretically be voted on and approved by the next Congress come January.
And just trying to look back at Trump's ads as he was running for president. I mean, he's probably going to be right along with Nancy Mace if she pushes for this. She won't get any pushback from the president-elect, right?
It's very much unclear. We know that President-elect Trump made targeting Kamala Harris's position on transgender issues a key point of his campaign. And we also know that he's given Speaker Mike Johnson, the president-elect has, rope to essentially run the House of Representatives how he sees fit. So it's really up to Mike Johnson at this hour, and it's really hard to parse what Mike Johnson wants to do. Again, he made that statement just moments ago before cameras. He made a point, actually, to call cameras for this impromptu public statement where he walked out to cameras in a way that was unplanned, said he believes a man is a man and a woman is a woman. I'm quoting him here, and then went on to say that he believes that each member of the House, each new member, and every member in general should be afforded dignity and respect. So we don't quite know where he lands on this, but Nancy Mace has said that he promised her that her opinion on this and her position on this and her resolution, which you just heard her outline there speaking to me, will be included in this new rules package put forward by the House of Representatives come January.
Yeah, y'all know we had to go look and see what was happening. I went ahead and searched Sarah Mcbride just to make sure we ain't missing nothing. And it says Libs of TikTok responded by posting a picture and saying this dude who dresses up as a woman and won a congressional seat is very mad that a woman don't want him using a women's restroom on Capitol Hill. Sarah McBride is a male. He doesn't belong in women's bathrooms. Obviously, we've seen Mike Johnson's response. It says Sarah McBride is a man who wants to be in. Yeah. So yeah, we seeing it all. Just trying to make sure we don't miss nothing. Hold on, he can. Hold on, what is this? Sarah McBride is a man. He can call himself. Hold on.
Mr. Speaker, is freshman-elect Sarah McBride a man or a woman?
Look, I'm not going to get into this. We welcome all new members with open arms who are duly elected representatives of the people. I believe it's a command that we treat all persons with dignity and respect, and we will. And I'm not going to engage in silly debates about this. There's a concern about the uses of restroom facilities and locker rooms and all that. This is an issue that Congress has never had to address before, and we're going to do that in deliberate fashion with member consensus on it, and we will accommodate the needs of every single person. That's all I'm going to say about that. Yes,
do you plan on bringing Nancy Mace's transgender bill and putting that into the rules package?
I'm not going to address the plans on any of that. I just told you what I'm going to say about the issue. I'm not going to engage in this. We don't look down upon anyone. We treat everybody with dignity and respect. That's a principle that I've pursued my whole life, and we will take care of this, issue of first impression for Congress, as we will any other thing. We'll provide appropriate accommodation for every member.
Well, I guess that was before he grew the pair, huh? Let me see, what is this? This is Tim McBride, who is now Sarah McBride. So this is okay. We got MTG. She chimed in on this. She says, Congresswoman MTG is fed up with Congressman Sarah McBride and is calling on the men in charge of the House Republicans to act fast. Quote, well, let me not quote it. Let's just watch it. Hold on. Hold it. Wait.
It's an assault. I see it as a physical assault when he is coming in our bathroom where we are in a position of weakness. That is absolutely unacceptable. I asked Speaker Johnson what the men, our top three in leadership are men. Our speaker, our leader, and our whip, all three men. It's time for men in this country to defend women from these sick, mentally ill men. I am so fed up with it, Steve. Thankfully, I'm going to report to all of you, Speaker Johnson said there will be no biological men in our bathrooms and women's private spaces. So I am thrilled.
You can report that.
And I'm thankful. And I will report that. That's what he told our entire conference this morning when I asked him that question, because I love what Nancy Mace is trying to do with the resolution, but the resolution is not binding. A resolution is simply Congress making a statement. So if that were to pass, and I hope it does, I do support her resolution, but it's not binding. We have to put it in the House rules next Congress and end this once and for all.
Yeah, man, I think it needs to happen sooner than later. I don't think that this needs to be something that we should let linger and allow the space to grow into something bigger than what it is. I think we just need to go ahead and nip it in the bud. Johnson already grew up here after the fact and did what he did. So, said what he said. So there's that. So yeah, I didn't even know his name was Tim McBride until then. Let me see. What is this? It says introduce legislation. Nancy May. McBride attacked Republicans by claiming they were using it as a distraction. Hold on. Let's see.
I am very mindful that my responsibility is not to any other community that I'm a part of other than the community that is the state of Delaware. My job is to be the best member of Congress that I can be for Delawareans, working on all of the issues that matter. And that will be the only way that I can guarantee that while I may be a first, I'm not the last. So I'm not doing this to make history. I'm not doing this to be a trailblazer. I'm doing this to give back. I'm doing this to serve. I'm doing this to make.
Okay. What is this resolution? Prohibiting members' office. I can't even see that. Let me see. Ms. Mace submitted the following resolution, which was referred to the Committee on Prohibiting Members, Officers, and Employees of the House from using single-sex facilities other than those, how you say that? Irresponding to their biological sex. and for other purposes. Whereas allowing biological males into single-sex facilities, such as restrooms, locker rooms, and changing rooms designed for women, jeopardizes the safety and dignity of members, officers, and employees of the house who are female. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, we seeing everything that's surrounding this. Shout out to Mike Johnson for actually growing a pair. The only thing I don't understand is why fake news is continuing to call Nancy Mace an extremist. That's wow. I say way to go, Nancy. She has a spine and she's not afraid to speak up. So yeah, until y'all make it make sense, these people, y'all can't tell me nothing different. It's something different in their water.